Infidel, you have an argument for
So
the
I
third
think
one?
there might be like some like no need or necessity in order to keep your organs. I think there's like some better consequentialist view, and also maybe an evaluated like deontic view in which we should give away our organs. I don't think it's justified to keep your organs for some sort of like selfish intentions or things that might not be of a greater interest. But I think there might be exceptions, such as like maybe some religious tendencies.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have a response to the type of, type B theoretic normative stance where there
No,
aren't?
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, so you made the claim that you're evaluating this on the basis of consequentialism or, this type of deontic, type of normative theory, correct?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. So it seems like that's going to fundamentally beg the question against the type of type B error theory stance where there are no oughts in the stricto sense, right? It seems like anyone who holds that view wouldn't accept this, right? You're begging the question against those types of views. So do you have some argument in favor of the denial of that thesis, or do you have an argument for the normativity?
I just take like a pragmatic like understanding of like if there's moral action guiding principles, like what best explains what people are talking about, and I think that there is some like a side of intuitions or maybe like simpler explanations than just assuming there is no types of obligations.
Wait, you don't want to say that though, right? Because your
Right.
theory trivially is a better explanation than like the type of theory that you're holding to, right? So you don't want to say that, but also you just question back again because you said that there are these type of moral obligations, which is what's in question, right? Like not only are you just wrong, but you just beg the question.
I did say like the best explanation if there are types of things that there are moral obligations.
Right,
So like I'm
what's in
just talking.
question is
Wait,
if there are moral
well I'm
obligations.
talking about like is there like a
You agree?
hello? Can I hello?
Yeah, I'm asking if you agree that what's in question is if there are moral obligations.
Yeah, I was trying to say that I'm trying to make like a probabilistic,
So-
pragmatic thesis on there
Do
being.
you agree
moral
that what's in
obligation.
question is that there are moral obligations?
Yes, I do.
Oh, so then when I asked you for the motivation and you said there are moral obligations.
That's not
your
the
question,
statement I
right?
made. That's not what I said.
Oh, okay. So then you want to say, well, what best explains our intuition towards the moral obligations is that these type of things obtain. Is that what you're saying?
I'm trying to say that using things like maybe intuitions or like maybe use a pragmatic account, that there would be moral obligations, like a probabilistic conclusion that there might be moral obligations. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what it means to say that there's a pragmatic account or a probabilistic case, right? Because pragmatics. Hold on, I'm not finished. Sorry, don't interrupt me. Pragmatics talk about the type of utility and this type of alignment with your goals, right? I don't know what that does for probability. I don't understand. Are you saying that we're pragmatically justified in affirming that there are more predicates insofar as they're in alignment with our goals? Or are you
Yeah,
saying
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
oh, well, that's compatible with type B error theory. Right? You can just be a
Okay.
fictionalist. And then, the morals don't obtain, but you keep the type of talk there in virtue of its utility. Right? But that's not the claim on the table that I was asking you to defend. What I'm asking you to defend is that these are the type of things which actually obtain. Right? That's a distinct claim than saying, oh, we just keep the kind of talk for its utility. Right? Like that's compatible with the type B error theoretic stance. So you didn't actually give me an argument for the proposition. But I also want to put into question that, these type of normative theories are the best explanation. Because I can give you a contrastive normative theory, which actually is the best explanation. And that would just be a type B error theory. And I have an argument for that if you want to hear it.
Well, look, all I'm saying is like Cap,
Do you want
like
the argument?
given my, huh?
Do you want the argument?
Sure,
Okay, but you agree how you didn't actually justify the claim?
I agree, I do.
Okay, perfect. So the argument, it's a very simple argument. It goes as follows. If some theory T best accounts for folk discourse practice in some domain D compared to competitors, then all is equal. We have this type of defeasible reasons to accept theory T compared to those hypotheses. Then we just affirm the antecedent and then replace some theory T with error theory and then replace domain D with ethics. And then you just get the conclusion, which is that we have these type of defeasible reasons to accept error theory compared to its competing hypotheses.
But I would have no idea what you're talking about.
What in there is like hard to understand?
So things like type B, not fully understanding of like what error theory is, other than just like
Already
some
explained that from the
conclusions.
onset.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm saying like this like argument now. I wouldn't fully understand what you're talking about.
Well, I asked you what you're not understanding, and then you said type B error theory, in which I already explained that to you. So then it seems like if that's something that you understand, it seems like you're saying that there's other things in the argument that you didn't understand. And I'm just asking what those would be.
Well, if I'm not particularly understanding the sentence,
Do you understand
I
abductive
don't want you to
reasoning?
do
Do you understand
Huh?
abductive reasoning?
abductive reasoning.
You said that these type of normative theories are the best explanation. I'm saying that's false because what actually is the best explanation is error theory. Right? This is a very simple
Okay.
argument. The argument is just that error theory best explains how the laymen communicate in the domain of ethics.
Yeah, again, if I'm talking about in relation to the conclusion, like what I'm failing to understand is why it's a better explanation.
Oh, well, that's just to ask for motivation for the premises, right? Which I haven't given you yet. But that's not to say that you don't understand the argument, right? Because you understand what the argument is trying to take out. You just don't understand why one of the premises are actually true, which is a distinct claim, right? So now I'm going to give you the argument in favor of the proposition that error theory best explains how laymen communicate in the domain of ethics. We're going to be motivating two theoretical virtues here. We're going to be motivating parsimony, and we're going to be motivating the type of explanatory power. It seems like error theory, trivially, is going to be more parsimonious than theories like realism, like moral realism, right? While explaining the same data. The relevant data we're trying to explain is one, moral error, right, where agents perceive to be in a state of wrongness about the type of moral propositions. It also best explains moral disagreement. It also accounts for moral disagreement, which is just where two agents have a conflict of interest in the domain of ethics. It can explain, I take it that error theory itself doesn't adequately account for the pragmatic utility that ethics have, but that's going to be motivated further in a minute, which is why I brought up fictionalism. It's trivially the case that it's more parsimonious than moral realism because it commits you to less existent entities, and it's the case that it equally accounts for the same data. So then it seems like it's more privileged than realism. And then in regards to anti-realism, it's going to be more ideologically parsimonious than those contrastive theories, right?
I have a question.
Why did you just come in here like, I don't know what that guy's doing. Now, it seems like now that we've talked about why it accounts for the same data equally as all the contrastive theories, if the explanatory power is the type of thing which is equal, you want to go with the less parsimonious or more parsimonious theory because it's going to be more probable, right? Parsimony lowers probability, the less parsimonious theory is going to be the type of theory which is less probable, all else equal. So then it just seems trivial, right? Like given the theoretical virtues. So yeah, I was just curious on if you had a response.
Even if, I might agree with the parsimony statements. I think that's fine. What I'm failing to recognize how so for example, the deontic views and like consequentialist views, like these types of considerations, like do they not also account for the types of things you were mentioning?
Yeah, the point just is that both theories equally account for the same data, right? But one is just less or more parsimonious, which is error theory. And if the explanatory power and the type of accounting for the data there is equal between two theories, the one that's has less ontic commitment or less propositions tacked on is going to be more probable, right? So then it just seems like it's going to be more probable.
Well, I don't know how you've done this. Is that you're saying it's of equal, and I don't know how you determine that. Are you just like
we just look at the relevant data and we ask ourselves, does the theory explain it? And the answer is yes for both of the theories.
So you think we've considered all the relevant data?
Yeah, just in regards to the folk discourse practices. Those are the main data points that a good normative theory or a good metaethical theory should strive to explain, right? Those data points there.
Maybe further clarification on, okay, so what error theory is saying is simply there is no obligations. So can you
there's no obligations, and then when we talk about moral propositions, we're intending to pick out a stance independent fact of the matter. And yeah, I think that's really all the error theoretic stance wants to say. But yeah, do you agree with? Okay, so you agree with
that's what I'm still lost on. So okay, so if it's saying there is no obligation, and then all the relevant data points we should be focused on, and we're trying to discover if obligations do exist, right? Mm-hmm. And then I talked about maybe things like intuitions or things like
we can explain those.
Okay,
that's explained under error theory.
Yeah, that's fine.
Very simply, actually, right? The point about error theory is just that our moral judgments are going to be that for which are in error, right? That's why it's called error theory. So then any moral intuition is just an error, right? Like that's explained. That's like hand waved away like easily given error theory, right? Like you intend to pick out a fact, there is no fact. You have an intuition that there's a fact. There is no fact. That's easily explainable. But okay, so do you agree with the parsimony point?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect. So you would agree that error theory is the type of theory which is the most parsimonious compared to its competitors. Perfect. Do you agree with the explanatory PowerPoint?
No, that's what I'm still investigating.
Okay, perfect. So what is there to disagree with?
I think my concern is that you're saying like wait, so just clarify, you're saying that intuitions don't lead to any facts.
Moral intuitions are an error, yeah.
Okay. I'd have to think more on that.
Well, the point is just that the data point is explained.
Oh, of like why we have intuitions?
Yeah, it's just an error.
That's what I need to think more about. It's an error. That's like it can't lead to any facts. Like
yeah, that's just the fact internal to the theory that explains the data point.
I still don't know what you're saying now.
Yeah, the fact internal to the theory that explains the data point, which is the moral intuitions, just is that they're an error.
Well, that's just obviously that. Okay, I already that claim, but what I'm like trying to think.
I'm not even reading the comments, by the way.
What?
Wait, guys, why? What did AirTag explain yourself?
I'm not even reading the comments if they're...
Like, why am I being modded? No, it's fine. I don't know why AirTag's modded music, but y'all can proceed.
But yeah, I mean, listen, if you don't have a response to these type of objections, then it seems like the first...
It might not have been him. I don't know. I just saw him comment. But I don't know who did it, but don't do it. Sorry, continue.
It was AirTag. I have the screenshot.
But look,
it gives you a notification.
Listen, if you don't have a response to the type of objection I'm levying, then it seems like the first order claim, the moral verdict, is the type of thing which is, not actually, the type of thing where it's warranted, right? Like, I think if you have a claim, you typically want your idea to succeed. If you want your idea to succeed, then when you're given basic scrutiny, you should be able to adequately respond to the basic scrutiny. And this type of objection is really a basic type of objection to the argument you levy.
I got this notification that AirTag muted me.
I have a different topic of discussion whenever this is done.
Saucy, shush. Listen, my fault, Saucy.
Damn, unnecessary. Damn.
My fault. But yeah, I mean, you haven't.
So, hello.
Since you guys wanted to mute Kylo,
yeah, y'all should just wrap this up. Let's also debate.
I mean, Persity, you haven't really met your burden, to be clear.
Wait, I agree with that. But what I'm
Yo, Infidel, you want to just concede so we can fly out?
Well, I'm just trying to understand his view a lot more. Like, yeah, sure.
You're just trying to get taught.
There's a KG, a knowledge gap.
Yeah, this is a debate. So if you're not meeting your burden of proof, that means
that's what I'm trying to achieve. So there's a distinction there.
How many more of the same credit questions?
I don't know how many.
Asking?
Listen,
This guy's a burger.
I don't want to sit here and teach you all day. I can give you sources. Like, you should read like Type B error theory, normative error theory. There was like field papers on it. You should read like, Mackey's Type A error theory, the standard account. You should also read Richard Joyce's Myth of Morality. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to get taught, you should just read, bro. I'm not here to like teach you all day.
All right, Twan, let's fly out, bro. He lost.
Let's
fly out, bro. He lost.
Have a nice day.
No problem.